What's going on YouTube? It's your boy RTY here, and in today's video we're here to talk about blockers in OPTCG and how to kind of use them a little bit more efficiently, more properly than what you might be used to. Now, this is a step that I had to learn as a beginner, and taking this step actually really kind of evolved my gameplay a little bit and accelerated my game plans. And I learned this really early on when I started playing seriously, and it really does notice quite a difference. And so I do think it's important to talk about it and hopefully help you guys learn about it. So in this example, we got Luchi going against Luchi, and you know, not all Luchis are playing this card, and this isn't even applicable to just Borsalino, but basically any of your blockers that have a power level on them, but Borsalino probably being one of the strongest examples, and Sabo as well. So on our 4-Dawn turn, we're going to play Borsalino, right? Okay. What most people do is they leave this Borsalino up and it's just standing. It's your perspective is saying this is a non-KOable blocker. This is the ultimate defense. When your idea should really be saying this Borsalino is un-KOable, it's gonna get so much tempo for me. It's gonna get so many cards out of hand. And that's how you should really think about it. And then, like I said, this isn't just applicable to Borsalino. It's applicable to Sabo, you know, all your purple blockers, for example. If you are healthy enough to turn your blocker sideways, the blocker probably should be turning sideways. Otherwise, you're essentially just kind of like playing this character on 4-Dawn, and then he's just not doing anything all game. You're just waiting for that opportunity to use him. The example being, or you know, that being different from like Rebecca, which is a 0 cost. It's obviously not going to attack, right? But this is how you set tempo on your side, and Borsalino is the best at doing this, right? The best thing that he can do on his 5-Dawn turn is swing 5 at life, right? Oops, we'll just put this Luchi leader here. Swing 5 at life, right? We're gonna free block, right? Of course. And then he's gonna have 5-Dawn. He's gonna play Sabo, and then pass. Okay, that's his best turn. So then we're gonna go to our 6-Dawn turn. And well, we can't KO the Sabo, but I want to get cards out of his hand, or I want to start hitting him low. It's kind of my game plan, right? Well, I have another Borsalino in hand, and so the game plan here is we're just gonna attach a Dawn, swing 6. We're early. He probably already took a life, you know, on my 4-Dawn turn, right? So we'll remove one. And in control mirrors, it's okay to counter, so he'll probably take this one. Oh, I'm swinging 6 again with my leader, right? Oh, I wasn't prepped for that. Well, here's a 2K. Oh, cards out of hand. Oh, by the way, I'm playing another Borsalino. That's spooky, right? Because his next turn is 2 unremovable blockers, for example. So he's going to refresh, right? Draw 2 Dawn. This is like his Jack turn. So he's probably just going to play Jack. Now, one thing that is, you know, interesting is in this situation, this is a particular situation, and it's something you have to evaluate when you're thinking about whether or not to turn your blocker sideways. It's A, do I have the cards in hand to protect this blocker if they do swing at it? And B, if they do swing at it, am I even going to protect it? Because if they swing at it, it's blocking. Right, so that's another way to think about it. If they're swinging at this leader, it is blocking. And so what Borsalino does is it kind of excels your game plan. It makes you a 6K leader in theory when you think about it. Because in order for them to swing at this Borsalino in any way this turn, for Luchi, let me put the correct Luchi here because that's actually starting to bother me. For Luchi, right? They have to turn the Sabo sideways and just swing 6 into 6. Obviously, I have the counter for that. Or they have to abandon playing Jack on 7, which is a huge no-no, right? So all they're going to do here is they're going to swing 5 at leader, right? Sure, I'll block with Borsalino. Turn the Sabo sideways. Sure, I'll give you a 1K, right? I'll give you a Kaku. And then play their 7 cost, play Jack. And then pass turn. That's it. Meanwhile, on we're going to this would be our 7-Dawn turn, or our 8-Dawn turn. We've built up our trash. If they turn the Sabo sideways, I'm just swinging 5-5, right? I'm swinging 5-5-5, 3 5s. 3 5s. That's a lot of cards out of hand, or I'm hitting him down to 2 or 1 life. Meanwhile, I'm at like 4. Okay, so 5-5, and then I'm doing my whole Gecko-Rebecca shenanigans. At this point, I'm healthy enough that if I have a Kuzan in trash, I'm value geckoing, right? I'm playing Gecko-Rebecca Spandom, and I'm getting more cards back in my hand. Meanwhile, I'm still poking and poking. Now you can think about it and say, okay, well, shit, there's a Jack on board, so maybe I don't turn one of these Borsellino sideways because this Jack has a free swing, or maybe I do turn both Jack sideways, and if Jack is swinging into a Borsellino, that means he's not KOing one of my things on board next turn. I would much rather prefer that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna turn both Borsellinos sideways in this scenario. Now, this is kind of extreme, being that Borsellino is just really powerful into black itself, not being KOable. But this is applicable, for example, if you're playing against Dofi. Well, you'd say this card is going to get hit by Gravity Blade anyways, right? It can't be KO'd, but it can be bottom decked. So to make sure it gets its value, especially early on, when the board is in my favor, when the board state is in my favor, I'm turning these sideways. Another strength here is that on his opponent's turn, obviously Borsellino becomes a 6K. So if they're ever swinging at you, like I said earlier, they're putting that Dawn on leader. It's throwing them on curve or off curve. It's really uncomfortable for them. So these Borsellinos could really get you a lot of value. So let's kind of take this to another scenario. All right, let's say we're playing a purple leader. So we're playing Luffy. And where is purple Luffy? Hello? I typed it in. Oh, it disappeared. There we go. And then our blocker we played on 4 was Law. So if somehow, some way, this Law makes it to your 6th on turn, you're turning it sideways. And the reason why I say that, it depends on the cards you have in hand, but also, you know, if you could protect your life, because against Pluffy, your life is more volatile. Otherwise, you just play this 4-cost 5K vanilla is a way to think about it. So this is getting removed. You know it's going to get removed if you're playing against black or blue. So let's just make sure we extract value out of it, and let's get a card out of hand. It's just kind of what we have to do with it. And then, you know, late game, when we play our late game blockers, Queen, Kid, and stuff like that, maybe those blockers probably stay up while we're trying to stabilize and make sure we don't die. But the second the board goes back in our favor, those babies are turning sideways. So it's just a quick video I wanted to make, talk about it, talk about you know, an early hurdle to jump over that's really easily avoidable when you're getting into the One Piece TCG. You know, and that's just, I don't want to say ignore the text that says blocker, but honestly, very truly, analyze the board state. Say, do I need this to block? Do I need this to protect my life? Can I take a life? Can I counter my life? You know, do I need this blocker on the field? Can I protect this blocker if it's swung at? Analyze those 3 things and say, okay, do I need tempo in this matchup? This is a matchup where I have to create tempo for myself and continue to accelerate and capitalize off that tempo. If yes, turn the blocker sideways. I promise you guys, it'll really help out, and you'll start seeing it more and more. And then once you kind of get an instinct on that, you'll kind of learn to understand when it's okay to turn your blocker sideways or not. And that kind of goes into another video where you know, we talk about when it is proper to attack. You know, one of the biggest things with red, for example, is a lot of those characters have rush on them, right? Rush Zoro for 3 is really good, but let's extract it. If I play this Rush Zoro on 3 and it swings for 5, it's only getting 1K. It's either getting 1 life or 1K, or 1 card. But if I wait a turn and I'm swinging Zoro, my leader, and then I play something else, that's 3 swings. Because what's going to happen is if you turn that Zoro sideways the turn they play it, they're going to swing 7 at it. You have to decide to extract 2 cards for it, or to protect it, or it's going to get removed. You lose tempo. It kind of falls back, right? So that's a conversation for another video to talk about, like when it is proper to attack with your board that it even isn't blockers, but just one of those things to analyze going forward. So yeah. Leave a like down below. I hope this video helped you kind of just think about it a little bit more. You know, be a little bit more thoughtful in how you use your blockers, and I really do hope this helps. And if so, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.